Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231, JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
Yes.
Well, and for us, we're a feeder. We have a couple people that are sponsored in our academy, like local departments that'll send them, pay for them to go,
Right.
or whatever. But for the most part, we have all pre-service people. And that's, once you graduate, boom, you're out into the world. You can, shouldn't have done that. You're out into the world.
Especially right now. Jeez.
You're out
Hanukkah's
into the
getting ready to
world.
start, you dick.
Well, this is good stuff. Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast.
Night.
We're going.
You're
We're
out in the
sitting
world.
here-
You can start applying for
Yeah.
for jobs.
No, I'm just saying, I was sitting at dinner the other night and we had an ambulance operator. So we have, like single function EMTs that run our ambulances, right? And we're sitting at dinner and this guy was like, I was like, so, hey, what's your deal? Like what school are you in? Who are you testing with? Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, I'm getting ready. I want to go to paramedic school. And I'm like, oh, where'd you get your fire academy done? He goes, I haven't done that yet. And I'm like, so
How's he riding with you then?
So you're going to go, because he's an EMT.
Oh, he's doing his medic clinicals. I got you.
Yeah, no. We have ambulance operator kids that run our ambulances. They're called ambulance operators, but they live in with us. The ambulance is in house and everything. So we're sitting there having dinner, and he's telling me he wants to go to paramedic school before he wants to get his fire academy done. And we're sitting there like telling him like, dude, you're a firefighter, and then with a paramedic cert. You know what I mean? Go get your fire academy. And so you guys obviously like this is kind of fun to talk about because with you being in Michigan and Doug in Virginia and whatever, you guys might do it a lot different. But it sounds like Doug, like, your bigger departments are like our bigger departments. Like if you work for Los Angeles, you work for Orange County, you work for I think Long Beach. The bigger departments, they put you through their own fire academy. So like if I get hired today with Orange County Fire Authority, I mean, they're going to put me through an 18-week academy and then I hit the floor for probation. Like departments like me, like you got to have a fire academy. You don't have to be a medic because we don't do firefighter medic tests, which is crazy, but we don't. And so you don't have to have your fire academy. I'm sorry, your paramedic license. You just have to have a fire academy, basic. And then when they come in, we put them through a 4-week mini academy about how we pull hose, what we say at the hydrant, lay line, it's all just different than what you might have learned at the basic. So we're trying to educate this guy. Like you want to be a firefighter, right? Or do you want to be a paramedic, that studies firefighter? Like, wait, you know what I mean? So that's our only, I don't know, maybe you guys have a different view.
And I think it's geographic. Like here in Michigan, a lot of your career departments are fire medic. And honestly, it's more expensive to go to the paramedic programs than it is to go to the fire academy. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of fire departments sending people to the fire academy, my academy especially, that are already basics or they're already medics. Cool. We'll send you through the academy for whatever, $2,800. I don't even know what it costs anymore.
Right.
But we'll send you through the fire academy 10 weeks. That's super easy for us. You already have your medic. That's a year and a half for you to get your medic and all that stuff. We'll send you through a 10-week academy that you pass, and then boom, you're in the door and you could be manpower in a month.
Yeah, but why would your fire department put guys through your fire academy that already have academies?
They don't. We have a lot of private ambulances out here. So there's people who are working as paramedics,
Gotcha.
Or maybe they're a paramedic that works in the hospital and they're getting sick of it. They want stability. They want whatever.
Specific example, somebody applies for your fire department and they already have a fire academy. They will get hired with you, right? Let's just say this chief's like, yep, you're in. They don't need to go to a fire academy, right? They just start on the floor and they're on probation.
If you have a Michigan certificate, Fire 1, Fire 2, you can be in the door at our place.
Now, let's say I'm a brand new kid, nothing.
Yeah.
And I apply for your fire department. You guys allow me to do that without a fire academy?
No.
Okay. So that's that. Okay. So I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Which
here's makes sense because they don't do that out here either.
Michigan is hurting. Michigan is hurting big time for firefighters and paramedics and stuff like that. Like we used to have, I saw a stat or something like that. They used to graduate 8 between 800 and 1,000 paramedics a year, like 10 years ago. Last year was like 107.
Wow.
And so like it's a huge drop off, and you've got people retiring, getting out of the service, unfortunately getting injured, what have you. And so now we don't have a pool to pull from.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you kind of have to lower your standard to get people in the door. Like every time we post, we put Fire 1 and 2, Michigan paramedic license. Last time we hired, we got 12 applications for one spot. 12 applications, all of them basic. Not one paramedic applied. So our chief was like, all right, I'm going to take the best of the basics and I will put them through the paramedic program.
Right.
So our department begrudgingly is paying for paramedic school. We've done that now for the last 5 or 6 people that we've hired.
Yeah.
Go like whatever. But every time we post a job offering, it's Fire 1 and 2 and a Michigan paramedic license. If you have those, you're a shoo-in.
Yeah.
As long as you don't come in there and take a crap on the interview desk, like you're hired.
That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. I got hired. So I've been with the department for 10 years. It'll be 11 in April, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember from 10 years back to 15 to 20 years back, before I was hired, it was so inundated. I tested with LA City, and they were saying that there's like 5,000 to 6,000 LA County, 5,000 to 6,000 applications, and they might hire 200. And I'm like, it was insane. And now we've got this ambulance operator. We were talking to a different guy than previous, and he said, "Yeah, I got hired with Pasadena, awesome little department up in the LA area." Yeah, but he goes, "They're putting me through medic school," and I'm like, "What?" Like my head exploded. I'm like, "Yeah." They basically give you like a conditional offer. This is the best I understand. I might be wrong, but they basically
every place is different. But
you're hired, but you got to pass medic school, and we're gonna pay you to go through medic school. I'm like,
and pay for it.
Dude. I was getting paid minimum wage to work on the ambulance, and I put myself through the fire academy for 10 weeks in LA. And then I came back, worked full time on the ambulance, and then put myself through medic school. I slept in a freaking closet. I paid $100 a month to sleep in a closet. Couldn't believe it. But it's just crazy how much has changed in 10 years. It's unbelievable.
When I left the fire academy in 2008, we were told pretty much on the last day, it'll be 2 years before you get a job.
Yeah.
Don't count on getting a job before 2 years.
Right.
And from me graduating I graduated November 10th of 2008 from the fire academy, and my hire date at my previous department was September 15th, 2010.
Oh, wow.
It was almost 2 years to the date. And now you can throw your application in 10 places here in Michigan. And if you're listening and you have paramedic, you have Fire 1 and 2, and you want to come work in Michigan, I'm going to tell you right now, dude, you'll get hired. Yeah. You can put your application in 10 places, go interview, and have 5 offer sheets and sit there and be like, okay,
which one?
Oh, look at this pays better. Oh, but this benefits is better. Oh, but this one has retirement. Oh, but this, look at all the time off I get here. Like when I was applying, if I got an offer, I went and applied at one department, and they had one spot open, and I went and took their civil service test or what have you. 600 people took the test for one spot. I walked in, I got there a half hour early, thinking, I'm going to set myself apart, whatever. Walk in, there is 100 freaking people already there. And I'm like, what in the hell?
Yeah. And
dude, I tested for Grand Rapids here in Michigan. They had 12 spots. They had 2 days of testing, 850 people at the test.
Wow.
Each day.
Crazy.
And it's like,
it's changed. I mean, complete 180. Complete 180. I wonder if it ever gets to the point where a guy will walk in with a benefits, statement or salary statement to another department and be like, "Hey, look what so-and-so is paying. I want to work here though with you guys because you guys are bitching. I love this department, but will you pay me this?" Like, I wonder if it ever comes to that where the department's just like, I have to say yes.
You can't union contracts.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
That's all bargained.
Yeah, you're right. What am I thinking?
Oh, collective bargaining.
Golly, look at me like thinking all like private business. That's weird.
Now, there more than ever, at least in Michigan, more than ever, there are people who are leaving departments and going and being chiefs at another department.
Yeah.
Instead of, staying with your department. And
that just happened with us.
And I think, I'll be honest with you, I think what's happening is, hey, I have an opportunity to be a chief at this department I've been at 25 years. Here's what the pay is. And you go over to X, Y, and Z Ville, and you're like, hey, this is what I can get. It looks like you have an offering. Match it or make it better. Oh, we'll pay you more than that. Cool. I'm here.
Done.
And as a chief, because you're an at-will employee, you're somebody who isn't, as into it, you can pick and choose where you go.
Yeah. Well, neither here nor there. Okay. Hey, what does your guys' day look like at 3:00 p.m. at the firehouse? What do you do? What are you doing? What are you doing at the firehouse at 3 p.m.?
Hopefully just waking up from a 1 to 3.
Okay. That's very honest.
It is. I mean,
I totally agree. Right. Like we get up every single shift. Right. I'm at home right now and I haven't taken a nap. I'm tired. But
you're at home?
So we take a nap at work. Right. We do. But at 3:00, you're awake. Right. Typically in the firehouse, usually between 12 and 2, 12 and 3, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, whatever it is. The fire department has downtime, right? Turn off the lights, relax. Maybe Freddie doesn't. He's shaking his head.
Not at this department.
But what are you doing at 3:00? Because you're awake now. What do you do?
Waiting another half an hour before our work hours are over.
Oh, really? 3:30
we are allowed to be done doing things, and you can go catch a workout at 3:30. For us, between 8 and 3:30, you're expected to be working, finding something to do.
Okay, and when do you PT?
I love the place that I work at. I love the place that I work at. It's vastly different than the place that I came from.
Okay.
And I understand that across America, departments are different. Where I came from, 7:00 in the morning was shift start. It was coffee talk, BSing, talking about what happened. At 8:00, you are out in the bay, checking out your trucks, getting stuff ready. After that, you do your cleaning. We usually do some training, or you're shopping for groceries or what have you. And then lunch is at noon. At 1 to 3:45 we called it union nap time. Like you weren't forced to do anything. You'd go lay down. And most people did. We laid down. It was a busier department, what have you. 4:00, you're up, finish up anything that you haven't done for the day. And then usually dinner's at 6. The rookie is off duty at 7. He doesn't have to be towing the line and doing all that stuff. And kind of everybody finds their way around after 7:00. On my new department, 8:00 is shift change. You're expected to be on the floor at 8:00, ready to go, checking out your truck. Not a minute before, not a minute after. You do your exchange at 8 a.m. You can request buddy time from somebody if you want to get off of the truck early or something like that, but you have to text your officer in charge and get it approved.
Okay.
Whether or not you can switch. Then you check out your truck. After the truck, you do the routine, which is bathrooms, sweeping, mopping, all that jazz. Then you do the green book, which is the deep clean for the day. Every Monday through Friday has a couple of items that are a deep clean. And then at 9:30, 10:00, you can start figuring out what you're going to do for food for the day. And then at noon is lunch. At 12:30 to 1:15, you're allowed 45 minutes of do whatever you want time. And then at 1:15, we're expected to train until like 3:30, 4:00.
But when do you PT?
3:30 after you train.
So I do like that. Like, because, our typical day is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so if we don't get that time in the morning to PT, it's really tough. We kind of feel guilty if we're putting our fat pants on at 4:00 in the afternoon to work out. Some of us do. If we don't, we'll just kind of bend the rules a little bit and we want to get a workout in. You know what I mean? And if you work out at 5:30, you work out for an hour, that's pushing it to 6:30. Like, when are you going to eat chow? You know what I mean? So I kind of like your deal about having that culture of being done by like 3:30, because that kind of gives you that afternoon to kind of, finish up some loose ends, whether it's like, responsibilities or, PT or whatever, or start cooking or whatever it is.
For us, the only problem that I see with the way that it's structured right now is you're expected to be doing things until 3:30. So if we finish all of our chores, extra stuff, anything, if anything gets done early, then it's like, all right, well, let's find something to do then, because you can't be done. You can't be relaxing before 3:30. It's just, it's the way that our department is set up. It's the way that the administration and the upper level officers feel like is the most efficient. And who am I to argue? I've been here 2 years. Nothing's broken. It's just different.
And that's why I ask. And that's really interesting, because basically my question to you is, what do you guys do at 3:00 until chow, right? And your answer is basically like, that's your relevant question, because it's just what we're normally do. Like, it's just like a normal, I don't know. It's just like a normal time that, I don't know. I guess I am getting something out of it, but it's just funny, like the different cultures, West Coast, East Coast, whatever you call it. It's really just department to department. I'm sure, there's departments in California that are kind of mimic what you guys do. But, and the reason I ask too is, like 3:00 is kind of our time to get inspections done. So we'll do inspections, or we'll do like a light amount of training until chow time. But I just feel like it's that weird, awkward time that you got a lot of work done in the morning. You're running calls, you eat lunch, whether how heavy the lunch is depends on how heavy your nap is. And then you wake up and it's like coffee, right? Like coffee. Like, we do coffee, and we have this Vietnamese coffee in town that's insane. It's like, I think one cup is like 5 shots of coffee. And so we'll go do that.
So it's like Cuban coffee.
It's like gnarly coffee. Yeah. It's so good. It's super sweet. They use like
California.
They use like condensed milk in it, and it's like gnarly. And we drink that.
California.
And like within 15 minutes, we're like, okay, what are we doing? What are we going to do? Where are we going? And we like get stuff done, in the next few hours. We'll do a trail. We call it a trail along the beach. Make sure the sand is still there. And then we just like, that's kind of our time to get inspections. Do you guys do engine company inspections?
Engine company inspections.
Do you guys do inspections, or do you guys have inspectors that do like fire prevention?
No, we do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said engine company inspection. We do daycare inspections, group home inspections, all that stuff.
We have a fire marshal, and then we have 8 24-hour guys, like on shift dudes, that if you're working, you go out and you do your annuals or your re-inspects or your what have you. They're expected to do, they've got the whole year to do it, so they kind of break it up. They go out, they can go out in the morning after the green book's done, or they can go out after lunch and not go to training, which there's a bunch of us that are kind of not too keen on that. Like the inspectors are going out, they're still on the trucks, they're pulling lines, they're pulling ceiling, they're doing firefighting stuff should the calls come in. But the fact that they don't go to training all the time, there's some people that kind of get bummed out about it, because it's like, hey man, we need to make sure everybody's up on the latest stuff. We can't have you being like, well, wait a minute, what's this piece of equipment? This is new, I've never used it. It's like, dude, man, we trained on it last week. Like,
yeah.
So
we have a lot of people in day work, Monday through Friday stuff, and be it training or light duty or EMS, and we have a lot of divisions, and a lot of our day workers get a bad rap for, I don't want to say avoiding those things, but being a little behind on those kind of things.
Yeah, but those are 9 to 5 guys.
Yeah, but they're still firemen.
So ours are guys that are on shift, riding the truck.
No, ours.
And they're doing the inspections.
Yeah, no.
And the other thing, going back to like the schedule and stuff like that, is it's a little different. And I guess where I'm at is like, it's our house. Like, I want to keep it clean. I want to make sure that the light bulbs are changed. I want to make sure the grass is cut.
Yep.
I unfortunately, you see it a little bit, but like we've got a list of 10 things. If we knock out 6 of them in like 2 hours, there's dudes that'll slow down for the last couple hours and do those last 4 things because they don't want to get done early and have 11, 12, 13, 14 added to the list.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey man,
extra busy work.
We got to work till 3:30. All right, man. Then I'm gonna make these hydrants last until 3:30.
Yeah.
And that stinks because you're almost, unfortunately, like discouraging efficient work, I guess. It's not everybody, and it doesn't happen every day. It's and it's a different management style. Like I said, I'm new at this department. This department has flourished for like 75 years. I am not anybody that's going to come in and reinvent the wheel or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Like my other department, they flourished for freaking 100 years. This department flourished for 7. Like there's no one right way to do it. It's just completely different. Our chief, actually a couple of the chiefs, the mindset or what have you was, hey, you know what to do, and I know that you know what to do. You have 24 hours.
Yep.
Get your stuff done.
Yep.
If you want to come in and check out your truck and then go lay down and sleep for 10 hours, cool. But guess what? You're going to be cleaning the bathrooms and painting the handles, doing whatever you got to do at 10 o'clock at night.
Right. In the little time you got left. Yeah.
Because, listen, you're here for 24. There's a list of things that need to get done. You do it in the morning, do it in the afternoon, do it at the night. I really don't care.
I think a lot of the general public really doesn't see like you said, the 24-hour shift thing being their world revolves around 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever. Not
right.
Realizing that we're there, literally, like you said, we live there. There's somebody in that building 24/7, 365 all the time, unless they're on the call. Right. So yes, there's always something to do, and you do kind of have to pace your day because I got this to do and that to do. And like you said, as long as the things that are supposed to get done, whether it be checking the rigs, cleaning the stuff up, and again, like you said, we have a monthly sheet of every Tuesday you do this, every Wednesday you check the generator, every Thursday's grass day or outside clean up outside the station, whether it be blowing leaves or what have you, whatever time of year it is. Those things we typically try to do them in the morning. We try to get them depending on the weather. We'll try to get all that stuff knocked out in the morning, and then lunch, and then after lunch is usually training and or PT, and then like you said, 4:30, 5 o'clock, depending on what the meal is, you kind of transition into that, and the day kind of winds down. But yeah, up until lunchtime, it's pretty busy. We try to typically jump on that stuff first thing in the morning. Like I said, we'll do the rig checks first thing in the morning, and then have to duties are shared. You know, that I don't believe in making the rookie clean everything. That's not how you embrace the guy into your culture. Hey, go clean everything. You know, house duties and cooking meals, that's all company functions. And then, like I said, after lunch, you know, you get some training in if you need to, or like you said, you go do inspections if you need to. We have a lot of online training as well with our Vector. Like I said, Target Solutions, Vector Solutions. A lot of our con eds on there, obviously, and we've started pushing out a lot of information from the chiefs and the department head meetings and the staff meetings and things. Our technical services unit will condense that into videos from each different person, and they'll push that out that way, and we'll watch that as a company, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, you get your PT in the afternoon, and then, yeah, you're pretty much at that point ready to start dinner.
And I mean, to be clear, there's a fine line too of oversight and Wild West, because you know there's departments, I'm sure, that there are, for lack of a better term, there's no rules. You are showing up and maybe you're busy, maybe you're super busy, and you don't have time to clean the bathrooms and wipe the baseboards and scrub the tile and do all this because you're running 10, 15, 20 calls a day.
As long as the calls for service get answered, the rest doesn't matter.
But that's where the cultures are different.
Right. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying you were saying some departments, Wild West. Yeah, some departments are just, look, man, just show up, make sure the calls for service get answered professionally, and the rest is afterthought, you know?
Right. And I'll be honest with you, I've worked for 1, 2, 3, like 4 chiefs, give or take. 4 chiefs I've worked for. And every single one of them has been different. The things that they are most passionate about, things
Right.
that they care about. You know, we've had chiefs come in and they got a bug up their butt about sick time. We've had chiefs come in
Absolutely.
and all they want to do is they care about customer service. So you come back from a rescue call. I kid you not. You're going to laugh at this. You come back at a rescue call and there was a box in the watch room of thank you cards. And you had to fill out. It was pretty in there like, thank you for allowing us to be there in your time of need. Our family appreciates caring for your family. Write out the address, sign your names, the people that are on the call, put it in the mail. And that went out to every single call we ran, whether it was a medical, whether it was a smoke investigation, whether it was a whatever, car accident. Like you filled out every one.
That's probably a very popular thing, again, with either chiefs or deputy chiefs, or, you know, even down to some battalion levels. Everybody has their thing. I know when I was in my previous job, it was very similar with chief of securities, but at the battalion level, some of them are really sticklers about uniforms. Some of them are sticklers about, again, attendance and sick leave. Some of them are sticklers about making sure every little thing that goes wrong gets an incidental or performance report. Right, gets papered just for that paper trail. Even if it's nothing that's going to be disciplined, I want it documented. Some of them couldn't care less. Some of them were like, you know, whatever, man, it's the cost of doing business. But you're right, even down to the battalion level, but absolutely up to the chief level, that's a real thing. And with my current deputy chief came from the state police, and state police is very paramilitary. They're very neat. I don't want to say strict about their uniform procedure, but they're very neat, and they're recognized by their sharp uniforms and the way they look. And he's very adamant about the way our uniforms look and the way the place as a company looks. And I respect that. I mean, nobody wants to look like a dirtbag, you know?
Right.
So I get it, you know, but that's his thing.
I think when it comes down to it, you have to you got to read the room. You got to identify, you have to try and be good at identifying what are the highlighted things and what are the low lighted things. And you just got to try and stick with and play within those lines to keep the fire department running smoothly, number one. And number two, to, you know, I guess keep administration off your back, because
that's exactly where I was going with that. If
I don't think
if
they
you know
want to
that's
be on your back. They don't want to be on your back.
But if you know that certain battalion or even the station captain, that's his or her bugaboo, okay, not a problem.
Don't do it.
Address that. You know, if nobody likes their battalion chief to come around, let's be honest. Not saying that people dislike their BCs, but nobody likes the battalion to just come hang out at the station. Well, if he or she likes you to have the bay doors closed all the time, especially in the winter because the bay heaters are running, why are we wasting energy? I get it. It's in the budget. It's stupid. Yeah. If he or she likes the trash to be picked up around the house, and he or she likes, you know, the apparatus always clean, okay, do those things. If that means he or she doesn't come around but every third day instead of every other day or every day, cool, man. That's a win-win. He or she's happy, and we're happy.
And isn't that going to give you? See, and I'm gonna, I don't know. Maybe I'll put myself out there, but I've been accused. Well, I'm on a small department, 34 members, 2 stations. Station 1 has chief, assistant chief, fire marshal. Battalion chief is out of station 1. It's got a lieutenant, and it's got 4 other people. Station 2 has a lieutenant and 3 people. Early on in my career, being hired in at 39 years old to the new department, and being in the service for 11 years or being in the fire service for 11 years, for whatever reason, being trained by them, I gravitated, I clicked with officers, with my lieutenants, with my battalion chiefs. And there were some people who didn't like it. And they told me, you're too close to your officers.
Yes, sir.
You shouldn't be talking to your officers. And I was like, why? Why? Are they not people? Can I talk to them? Are they not 40 years old married with 2 kids like I am? Said, they're my peers. They're not your peers. They're the bosses. You don't talk to them. I was like, yeah, but that's not.
Yes and no.
But here's the deal. Like, and our chief, I like our chief. There's people who don't like our chief. He knows it. This isn't, I'm not making a big revelation, but our chief loves coming out to the bay and chit-chatting with people, talking with them, start a conversation, whatever. And, you guys know me. I never turned down a conversation. It is what it is. So there's times that, and this is a small department. This is going to be way different, I think, for you, Doug. If you were caught talking to the number one guy in your department, it'd probably be a little weirder. But for us, there's times that I'll be out in the bay, leaning on the engine or whatever, talking with the chief, yucking it up, talking about whatever.
Our fire chief is very personable.
And I've got people like, dude, you are always talking to the chief. That's inappropriate. That's stupid. You shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, listen, here's where I'm at. I'm cordial with anybody I run into. Number one. There's no reason to shun somebody because you have a position that's higher than me. Number 2, that's my boss, right? If I run a call and one of the citizens does not like something that I said or does not like the treatment, they wanted something to happen differently, they call and complain about me, about my service to the chief, I would really like for the chief in his brain as he's taking that phone call to be like, man,
that's out of character for him.
That does not sound like Freddie. That does not sound like Freddie. I'm going to, thank you for the call, man. We'll definitely investigate that. Pull me aside. Hey, tell me about that call. Oh, X, Y, and Z. Yep. That's what I thought. Cool. Versus, I don't know anything about Freddie. He probably is an asshole. Hey, here's your write-up because apparently you told a patient no on something. That's where I'm at. And it's a very unpopular opinion, apparently, to I don't know, talk to your administration, but that's who I am. And I'm not doing it nefariously. I follow the chain of command when it's something that has to do with department specific stuff. But when I'm talking about my personal life or my lieutenant, battalion chief, or my chief's personal life, like I don't understand why there's a problem.
I see the difference or the disconnect between the company officer level and the battalion level. I get it. I personally would like my battalion chief to know who I am, what I'm about, and know who I am as a person. But I feel like they're going to get that from my company officer and the brief interactions they have with me on scenes that are of that nature. Other than that, I don't think battalions need to be meddling, for a Scooby-Doo term, in company business. Let the company work. Let the company officers do their job. If you're meddling down at the firefighter level, even you're micromanaging a little bit. Let it be. Trust that we know how to do our job. Trust that the company officers are going to make sure we do our job. Now, the company officers, I absolutely think you need a great working relationship with them, and you need to talk to them often because, yes, they're your boss, but at the same time, they're doing the same job as you. If the door goes up and we go to a ripping ass fire and I'm forcing the door, does that mean my company, because we're a 3-man engine, does that mean my company officer's not working a nozzle behind me trying to get me some, whatever? Like, they're doing the same job I am. So I want that working relationship. But at the battalion level, there needs to be some separation. I think.
Our battalion chief rides a truck with us.
Right.
So that's where it's a little different.
Right. Completely different. My battalion chief has 5 stations that he looks after. And every battalion, we have 4 per shift because each one of them has 5 stations. But I don't think that he or she want to be down on that level, and nor should they. You need to have that disconnect, that authoritarian position, so to speak, where nobody's scared of you.
Don't blur the lines, is what you're saying.
Right. You absolutely be personable. Have a good working relationship with them, But I'm not going to just kick the bobo with my battalion chief for no reason. It's just not. I don't think that's right. Because you're going to get you're the kiss ass, and then the next time you get transferred to a desirable spot, it's because you kissed the chief's ass. That ain't me. I ain't never done it. I ain't never going to do it.
Right.
If I can't get it on my work performance alone, I don't want it. So that's where the line gets blurred for me, Freddie.
I feel you, Matt.
We went off on a tangent there, Matt, while you were gone.
Yeah, sorry, I had to leave.
But long story short, back to what you were talking about. We knock out everything in the morning. I told Freddie this. Lunch happens. We do all our daily stuff, our rig checks. We do all of our station maintenance because, like Freddie said, every Tuesday we may check the generator. Every Wednesday is outside maintenance or outside cleaning or whatever. You do all that stuff, and then lunch happens. And then after lunch is either your safety nap, your union break, as we call it, or if you got inspections to do, we'll typically do them then. Training and or PT happens, and then, like you said, 4:30, sometimes 5, depending on what the meal is. All that stuff has to start happening.
Love it. Well,
Yeah.
boys, what?
That was good. I think it was good.
Good stuff.
I teased a medical aid that I ran. I'm gonna have to tell next podcast because I forgot. And we got to get going. So, all right.
It's tired.
All right, next podcast we're gonna get Unky on here and hopefully Nick.
Hopefully Billy Mays will come in and join us.
Billy Mays Hayes. That boy needs to get on here.
Hey, he can give you a discount code.
Hey, and stay tuned. We're actually I just texted him the other day. We're gonna try and get Brian Kelly from East Coast Kelly's.
Yeah, man, that's long overdue.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're gonna try and get him. We got to film that on a Sunday though. But
okay,
stay tuned for that. He's a baller. He's a cool kid.
I'm free this Sunday, actually.
Y'all take care of yourself. Be kind to one another. Respect each other. Love you, boys.
Be good. Be safe. Howdy.
Yeah.
Roll it, GG.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!